morning sun where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes, design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you, just for you. In the morning sun where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes, design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, 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 morning sun where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and room, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes, design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show.
Hello, hello. This is our Grower Direct Flash Sale for this Friday, and the theme of this one is what we've done is we've gone to the growers and we've said give us some great products for people doing an Easter garden project. And what we've attempted to do is assemble a range of products. So you've got your ground covers, you've got your cottage plants, you've got your trees, you've got your hedges, you've got your borders, you've got a little bit of everything. And there's 100 items going off cheap. You'll be amazed at some of the prices. There's 100 items going off cheap, but the idea was we wanted people to be able to go through this lot of plants and put together their Easter gardening project on the cheap. So you can get your project together because we've put a range of everything, whether you want climbers, no matter what you want, beautiful little maples, whatever it is that you want, we've got them going cheap. And this is really focused on people's Easter gardening project. And Easter's going to come real quick. From here, it's really, really quick. But what's interesting is that we're open, we're doing garden designs, and we're delivering every day over Easter. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, even I call it Easter Tuesday. Most people run out that extra day for Easter. So even on Easter Tuesday, the non-public holiday, we'll be out there. You can come in store and buy, you can ring up an order over the phone, you can get it delivered. I'm doing garden designs every day over Easter. So on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we'll be doing free garden designs. So really, we're here to help you with your Easter gardening project. And the Grower Direct Flash Sale today, great bargains, all aimed at people being able to do their Easter gardening project.
Beautiful. All right, well, let's get stuck straight into it, and we'll get into our first product for the Growers Direct Flash Sale. These are all available right now at hellohellplants.com.au.
So here we've got your 10 pack of Dwarf Mondo. So 10 nice bushy little Dwarf Mondo plants in these packs here. Perfect, say if you want to grow something green in the cracks of your paving or a little border up and down the path. But with your Dwarf Mondo, grow it in the shade. Don't grow it in the hot sun. It'll never do any good in the hot sun. So grow it in the shade, and this is great for nice little patches in the shade. Wonderful stuff. And these 10 packs, instead of paying $24.99, and $24.99 our normal price is pretty cheap. We sell heaps of them at that. We're doing them for $17.99. So $17.99 for one of these 10 packs. So 10 plants, that's $1.79 a plant. So $1.79 a plant. And we've only got a limited number. I think we've got 25 packs available for Easter.
Perfect. And if you love what you see here today, make sure to leave a like and share this live so many more people can discover this incredible live.
A lot of people are going to see these bargains and they think, how could I get these bargains? Well, here's how you can get these bargains. You can ring up. You can just come through the door here and you can just grab these bargains. You can go online. You can buy them online. You can ring up, order them over the phone, and we deliver. When you spend over $300, we're doing free deliveries all the way from Traralgon up to Shepparton, out to Bendigo, and right down to Geelong and the coast below, the surf coast below Geelong. Free delivery when you spend over $300.
That's a great deal. All right,
Unbelievable.
Let's check this out. Our next product here.
Yeah. So what we've got here is, this is Australian native. It's a violet. It has these gorgeous little violet flowers. Have a look. I'll show you these beautiful little violet flowers. Have a look at these violet flowers here. Beautiful little violet flowers. Now, this is one of the hardiest and best ground covers around. Doesn't matter how it'll grow in the sun. It'll grow in the deepest, darkest shade you can find, and you can grow it around your paving. Fill in that sort of, like you might have a bald area under the shade of a tree. It'll fill in that area, give you these cute little flowers all year round, and it's lovely and soft and green and luscious. And these are really, really cheap. Instead of paying $11.99, these are only $6.99. Look at them, they're beautiful big plants. Look at that, $6.99, fabulous.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah,
very good size for that price.
$6.99, and we've got 40 of them available.
Only 40, that's right.
Yeah.
So a lot of these products are limited quantities. So if you do like what you see here today, act fast. They are available right now at hellohelloplants.com.au.
Now, one of the most fashionable plants around at the moment is your lime lava, and it's an Australian native moss-like ground cover, sort of grassy kind of mossy ground cover, and we've got these great big ones. Now, I did a garden design for a couple the other day. They're putting their house on the market, and we planted 7 of these right at the entrance of their property with a Senkaki maple in it. So these, if you wanted to make a really big effect that's really right up to date, you know, plant a little patch of 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 of these. Now these are normally over $100 each, and they're normally $1.99. They're $59.99. So $59.99. Great big lime lava, ready to make a giant impact in your garden. Beautiful plant. And these, although they look mossy, and although you might think you've got to put them in the shade, these love the hot sun and they hate the deep shade.
Yeah, great for rockeries and pots as well.
Yeah.
Also, we have a question here asking from Steffi, can you tell us the days the garden design consultations are happening over Easter?
Over Easter, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
So every day, basically?
Yeah, every day.
All right, so how do they book that in? They give us a call, I can do it on the website, right?
Yeah, you can ring up, you can walk in or go online and book your garden design.
All right, there you go, Steffi.
And there's a small deposit, and when you buy your plant, you get your deposit back.
Perfect.
So Silver Falls Dichondra, normally $14.99, now $10.99. Now this is one of the most useful plants around, very, very fashionable. Now what's great about Silver Falls Dichondra is that you can put it in a hanging basket, it can cascade down, you can put some nice flowers in the hanging basket with it. You can grow a silver dichondra lawn, you can grow it, you might have an ugly old retaining wall. You can plant it on top of the retaining wall and have it cascade down and cover up the retaining wall. There's lots and lots of uses. It's a hardy, easy to grow plant. There it is there, silver dichondra, and only instead of $14.99, they're $10.99. So $10.99, silver dichondra, great value, great for your Easter gardening project.
Perfect. All right, silver dichondra reduced for the Easter gardening project flash sale we have right now.
Yeah. Now one of the really trendy sort of plants at the moment is your chalkstick. Now, if you've got a tough sort of spot and you want to make it look good, just mass plant chalkstick. It looks fantastic. There it is there, beautiful stuff. And it's got a nice modern look to it. Grow it in a pot, grow it in a garden, grow it in between other plants, or just mass plant it. Often I'll do, to make a sort of a dramatic statement in a garden, I'll use something like, say, I'll use something like a Gaimea lily, which is that great big spiky looking monstrous thing, and then I'll put these all around the base of it, and what it does, this bright silver of this will point your eye at that feature. It'll get people to really see that feature. Also, these grow really, really quickly. So if you're putting a house on the market this spring, you could plant this together with, say, some native grasses and a few little bushes, and these will be, by spring they'll be up like that. They'll be really, really good. So I've had a few developers in, and we've had to do big gardens on a tight budget, and I'll often use lots of these silver these chalk sticks. So chalk sticks down from $6.99 to $2.99. So $2.99, and they're beautiful, strong little plants. Look at that, $2.99. That's ready to go berserk in your garden. So for $2.99.
And they're great in like coastal areas and that sort of thing, isn't it?
Great in the coastal, beautiful in the coastal garden.
Perfect. All right, so all of these products are available right now on the Growers Direct flash sale page, and we're looking at plants that are to get your garden Easter ready. What have we got next, Chris?
Well, we've got one of the biggest reductions of the day. This is Ajuga Bronze Beauty. Now, this one here has been reduced from $12.99 to $2.99.
Yeah, you've probably never seen them at that price before, have you?
And anyway, what I need to tell you about this is it sort of has a positive and negative to it. These are often called, a common name for these is bugle weed. Now, what's interesting is that word weed. Because and that's what I love about them. You plant these in a sort of a shady old corner of the garden, and they go berserk. And before long, they've covered a great big area. So if you want to cover, if you've got a shady spot in your garden and you want to cover a big area with something, these Bronze Beauty bugle weeds are the way to very cheaply and very quickly to cover a large area in the shade. And at $2.99, you just can't go wrong. So if you've got a bald shady patch in the garden, bugle weed is the answer, or we call it Ajuga Bronze Beauty.
Beautiful. All right, let's move along to our next product here on the Growers Direct flash sale. Plenty of awesome deals. $2.99 for that last product there, and they are limited in quantity, so if you do want to snap them up, you need to be quick.
Now here we have your Dichondra repens. Now Dichondra repens are really, really popular. People do whole lawns with them. You can just use it as a fill-in, grow it in the cracks between your paving, and at most stores you'd be lucky to get a tube of this for $2.99, but we've got these big full 6-inch pots like this for $2.99. So $2.99, fabulous buying. Fill up your garden. Maybe you're putting a house on the market in spring or something like that. You can't go wrong with these Dichondra repens as a filler at $2.99.
Perfect. All right. Check out our next product here on the Growers Direct flash sale. These are all available right now.
Yeah, so here we have white thyme. Now white thyme is beautiful stuff. It's edible, it smells great, tastes great. But what's good about this is it has a beautiful clean white flower, and it flowers for months and months. Unfortunately, it's just finishing off now, but it's flowered from mid-spring right through to the end of summer, right into autumn. They've been flowering like mad, and you can make a lawn out of these. You can plant them around your pavers. You could plant them out the side of a pot and they'll cascade, so they'll cascade, and they're just beautiful sheets of snowy white flowers, fabulous. And we've got them, a white thyme reduced from $10.99 to $5.99, and they're beautiful full pots of lovely healthy white thyme. Fill up your garden at $5.99 with white thyme. Perfect.
And I should mention we're looking at the ground covers and climbers category at the moment for the Easter flash sale. All right, we're getting a few questions in as well, but we may have to leave it to the Monday Q&A live with Chris, which is every Monday at 12 p.m. Have your gardening questions answered by the horticultural expert himself.
Yep. So come
join us Mondays at 12 p.m.
Try and floor me with a tough question.
All right, let's keep going along. We've got a few products to get through.
So here we have we're the climbers now. And here we have the ornamental grape, now these are green and lush in spring and summer, and then in autumn you get the most intense red colour. Now, if you want to cover a sort of a wire fence, or you want to grow over a pergola, or maybe you want to grow something over the veranda, this is the grape for covering over the top, and great for summer shade. So to walk under, if you grew this over your pergola, you can. If you've got just a timber frame pergola and you want beautiful summer shade and you want sun in the winter, what's interesting, when the leaves fall off these, I'll show you. When the leaves fall off them, there's a long little branch that falls off with it. And what happens is that there's very few twigs on your ornamental grape. And so what happens, if you plant it over the top of your pergola, you have the most gorgeous cool shade in the summer, luxurious to be under. Then in autumn you've got this incredible show of red, and then they fall off and the sun comes through, and so you have so fabulous for under a pergola, because you can have winter sun and cool summer shade and these beautiful big leaves, and this autumn colour is absolutely incredible. Now these are normally a little bit expensive, a little bit hard to get, and right now these are where are we? Ornamental grape, down from $39.99 to $29.99. So
that's it.
beautiful big. But by the time you get them, the leaves may have fallen on them, but they're down to $29.99, and you'll have this fabulous autumn colour for next year.
Perfect, and they're nice big products there for that price. There's only a limited quantity of those, of course. All right, let's check out our next ground cover and climbers section, flash sale products.
Yeah, now this is one of the best, this is one of the most useful landscaping plants ever. This is a white carpet rose. Now your white carpet rose, green and white gardens are in. They've actually been in for as long as I could remember. And the reason is that green and white looks classy. Now the best performing green and white plant in Australia is your white carpet rose. The reason being is that it'll start flowering end of September and it'll flower right through to May. Maybe you'll even get a couple of flowers in June, but basically flowering right through. We've got one customer buys 1,000 or 2,000 a year, property developer, and they've probably got 20 or 30,000 of them all around their big property development, and they put on the most amazing show. So they're a plant that you can mass plant. They're a plant. One of these will just about cover a square metre. And you'll just have a sheet of fantastic white flowers for months and months and months, and they're really hardy. And that particular customer that does 1,000 or 2 a year, they'd have them up to 25 years old, growing and thriving. So they're not like some perennials that are, only live for a couple of years. These will live as long as you water and fertilise and trim them. These will live pretty much forever and flower like crazy. And we've got them. Normally you can't get them for under $22.99. These are $13.99 for a white carpet rose.
That's
so
really
$13.99, fabulous value. And these are ready to put on a big show right from this spring.
Yeah, they're beautiful. All right, so this is all part of the Growers Direct flash sale. This is the last of our ground cover and climbers category, and then we'll move on to the next one.
What I said is that we've got something for every aspect. We've done ground covers, we're into climbers. Now this one here is called Amethyst Falls. Beautiful clusters of purple flowers in the springtime, and it flowers with no leaves. So while it's naked in early spring, it'll have this beautiful crop of purple flowers with a mild fragrance. And then what happens afterwards is that as you go into summer, they just have the odd purple flower popping here and there. So what you've got is that this is this gives you, like flower after flower after flower. It flowers for months and months and months. It flowers intensely in the spring, and just enough to make you, if you grow it over a pergola, just enough to make it exciting to be under your pergola in the summer. You'll just have the odd flower here and there. It's what's called a repeat flower. Instead of paying $50, these are $25.99. So $25.99 for an Amethyst Falls wisteria.
Beautiful. That is a really good price for those, and they have a lovely flower. All right, let's move along to our next category here on the Growers Direct flash sale. All of these products are available right now to purchase straight from our website, hellohelloplants.com.au.
Now, this is a Meyer lemon. Now, Meyer lemon is an ancient Australian cross between an orange and a lemon. And it's one that if you want to give your kids a bit of lemon juice, this is the one that's not too sour. Thin-skinned, very juicy. Fabulous lemon tree, and it's not a big, if you like to have a small or medium-sized lemon tree, this is the tree for you. So great for a juice for drinking. And also I think that the Meyer lemon is your best second lemon. So if you say you own a Eureka or a Lisbon lemon, they've got bitey, fruity, great for cooking, hard biting sort of sourness. And then you get a Meyer lemon. It's a point of difference to your normal lemon. So if you're thinking of a second lemon, you can't go wrong. Now we normally have these priced at $79.99 in a 10-inch pot. These are $17.99. So $17.99. Most places you couldn't even buy a lemon in a 6-inch pot. They're flowering and they're thinking about fruiting pretty soon.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
What was it? You sure that's not a typo?
No, it's not a typo. They've been brought down from $79 to $17.99. What it is, we go out to the growers, and sometimes the growers want to clear something out, to get another crop in or something like that. And some of the deals that they offer could be described as a little bit silly, but certainly very much. Now this is another crazy deal. This is a grafted Hass avocado. It's sexually mature. It's going to flower and fruit next year if you look after it properly. So that's the beauty of buying a grafted ones. They're sexually mature. and we'd normally sell one like this for $169.99, and at $169.99 a grafted avocado 6 foot tall is pretty reasonable. But we're not. We're doing it for $69.99. So $69.90, you'll never get a better deal on an avocado.
$69.99 for that one right in front of you, right? That's,
yeah.
All right, so these are available right now on hellohelloplants.com.au. We've also dropped a link in the comments section of whatever social platform you're watching us on. Let us know if you can't see that, but click on that link. It'll take you straight through to these sale items.
Yeah. I was helping someone clean out a house once, and I found a 1955 guide to growing lemons in Victoria, published by the Victorian Department of Agriculture. And anyway, what they said if you live south of the Divide, there's only one lemon to grow, and that's a Eureka lemon. And so you and
were they right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and what it is, the reason why you'd grow a Eureka lemon is Eureka lemons are not as frost hardy as a Lisbon lemon, so they're not very good. If you're north of the Divide and you're up where you got like in Ballarat or Bendigo or somewhere like that, and you're out where you're going to get some really savage winter frost, this one's no good. But when you're south of the Divide, these will handle the sort of frost that we have south of the Divide. And so basically south of the Divide, we're a maritime climate, and this has lots of advantages for if you're in that area. It has lots of advantages over your Lisbon lemon, because basically this lemon has very few thorns.
Perfect.
And out picking, particularly if your wife sends you out late at night to pick a couple of lemons, and you could easily get pricked in the dark with those lemons. These are much better. You're not going to get that prickle in the dark that you normally get when you're out there at night time picking lemons. And then it's a good sharp lemon. The skin's not too thick. It's pretty much, it's as close as you'll get to the perfect lemon. So if you're south of the Divide and you only want one lemon tree, now these ones here, because of the way they're grown, these will be semi-dwarf, so they're never going to be too big, and they were $19.90, now they're $15.99. So $15.99, and they're only small, but they're lovely healthy trees, and you'll find in no time at all you'll be out there at night time picking a couple of lemons. Oh, the other thing I forgot to say about Eureka lemons fruit 365 days a year. So they're a lemon that fruits every day of the year. So fruiting all year round. At $15.99, Eureka lemon. If you live south of the Divide, the only lemon to own.
Yeah, you can't go wrong at all. Absolutely not. All of these are available right now to shop and purchase online at hellohelloplants.com.au. I'm just dropping a link now into TikTok if you're watching us there, so hang tight.
Now, I love a Corona, particularly if I'm cooking a little bit of Mexican food. And if you're having a Corona, I reckon that Coronas taste great with a slice of lemon and taste unbelievable with a slice of lime. And basically, there's all sorts of wonderful cocktails and wonderful things that you can make with your limes.
Hashtag sponsored, Chris, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I reckon that avocados taste better with your guacamole is much better with a bit of lime than a bit of lemon. So if you've got a lemon tree and you want that sort of slightly more sophisticated flavour in your Corona, in your guacamole, in your martini, go for these limes. These are Tahitian limes, and they've been reduced from $19.99 to $15.99. So $15.99, and these are semi-dwarf ones, so they'll never get too big. And they'll grow at reasonable speed but never get too big. So $15.99, Tahitian lemon, great in the Corona, great in the guacamole.
That's really good, yeah, and you won't find them at that price in fact probably never at that price. It's only part of the Growers Direct Flash sale, and there's only a limited quantity of those too, so if you do want to get them, you need to be quick. I'm dropping that link into our TikTok here as well.
Now
so
look at these. Now blueberries, I think lots of people should think about growing blueberries. Look at this beautiful autumn colour coming on this blueberry here. Look at that fabulous colour here. Can you see that colour?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
we can zoom in on
what
that
it is,
too.
blueberries have beautiful flowers on them. They have fabulous autumn colour. They're beautiful little bushes, and they're probably so wonderful plants that even if they didn't produce any blueberries, they're almost worth having in the garden. But the blueberries like a bonus, so if you could get some blueberries, some beautiful sweet tasty blueberries in your garden, and have this beautiful little bush with fabulous autumn colour and beautiful spring blossom, why not? And and they're a bush. They're going to grow this, meter 1.2, something like that. So almost anybody could fit a couple of blueberries in their garden and enjoy the blueberries. And I mean, they do really well. There's lots of commercial blueberry farms in Australia. They do great in Australia, and normally you'd expect to pay $18, $20, $21, $22 for a nice. These blueberries here are 50 centimeters tall. We've got them for $8.99. So $8.99. Amazing deal, $8.99 for blueberries. And what I've been doing with a lot of my garden designs is putting fruit trees. Blueberries love a bit of shade, so I've been putting fruit trees in 1.5 to 2 meters apart, the dwarf fruit trees, and then slipping a few blueberries in between. So there we are, blueberries $8.99.
And we get a bit of a best of both worlds when you do that, don't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Fruiting trees, you can live off the grid.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got here next?
We've got a crisps pink apple, and this is really basically a smaller growing version and a smaller fruited one of your pink lady. So it's a mini pink lady, and these are a big reduction. Normally $49.99. These are $10.99. So $10.99 for a crisps pink apple.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Get off the grid, get some apples.
Yeah.
Let's check out what we got next on the growers flash sale here. Getting your garden ready for Easter.
And here we've got your Sweet Cheeks apple. Sweet Cheeks apple, it's a little tiny apple that your kids are gonna love. They're gonna love them. They'll open up their lunchbox and get one of their Sweet Cheeks apples from home. So a lovely, tasty little sweet apple. And instead of paying $49.99, which is a normal price, these are $10.99. They're over a metre tall. In 2 years, I reckon you'll be getting apples off these.
Amazing. How old would they be at the moment?
These ones here, they're a 1-year-old understock, and they've got 2 years of growth on them. They're
That's
3
really
years
good
old.
value, yeah. $10.99, did you say?
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep. Now watch out, Emily. You've got something
well,
big coming through.
we're gonna do. Is that next? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna have to get you to go over there for this one.
No worries.
So we're gonna do some behind the scenes footage. You head over there, and we'll have to turn our cameras around.
Now, when I was a child, my dad was trying to break into the nursery business. He did insurance or something like that during the week, but on the weekends he was a nurseryman, and he used to grow plants in a paddock, and then he'd go around to sell them. And there was my name is Lucas, and there was a nurseryman called John Lucas at Rosemont Nursery in Montrose, and when we used to go in there, and Dad would go in there and try and sell him a few trees, and when we used to go in and see John Lucas, I used to run to the back of his nursery, and there was a cloud prune myrtus luma at the back. Oh, it might have only been 5 or 6 years old, but there was a cloud prune myrtus luma at the back of the nursery, and I used to run down there and stare at it in awe. I couldn't believe that such a plant existed. And these days we've got a whole collection of them in the nursery, and people use them, as a centerpiece in a garden, and we sell them for $2,500 each. And each one of them is a work of art. This one's been trimmed up, and you can see they have beautiful white flowers on them all through the summer. If you cut them or brush against them, the foliage is beautifully fragrant. And you can keep this trimmed, and you'll keep this as a beautiful sort of sculpture. And if you look at it as a plant, you'll think it's kind of expensive, but if you look at it as a sculpture, $2,500 for a beautiful sculpture isn't a lot of money. And but
what's going on with the Growers Direct flash sale?
But with the Grower Direct flash sale, we're doing one only. There's only one of these available, and it's $1,249.99.
Wow. So under 15. No. How much? $1,249. Oh wow,
Yeah.
It's even more than half price.
Yeah.
Well, it's about half price.
About half price. So basically, it's half price. And if you bought one of these for $2,500, there's quite a few more in the nursery at $2,500. But if you bought one of these at $2,500, I reckon it's a fair price, because it is a sculpture that's taken years and years to grow.
That's absolutely right. But if you want to get one half price, that's it, isn't it? There's only one available in this Growers Direct flash sale.
And it's this one here.
Yep. So you can come in and check it out. 1477 Sydney Road, Camerfield. If you want to get this one at half price.
But you could ring up now if you want.
You can ring up now 039359.
Ring up now, or you go online and you can buy it. Yeah.
I'll give you that number again, 0393593331, just for those of you who may not be as internet savvy. Or you can just, as Chris just said, you can head over to hellohelloplants.com.au and purchase this one-of-a-kind cloud prune murdersluma at half price for $1249.99.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay.
All right, head back over, Chris. We'll get on with all the other products.
G'day. Is this one in view?
All right, this one is in view, but if you go over, Chris, because we can't see you. There we go.
Right,
there
okay.
Yep.
So what we have here is, I used to go and dig up trees out of people's gardens. Like in the days before there was advanced tree nurseries, I mean, I go back away in the business. I used to, a nurseryman or a landscaper would give me an order for a big Japanese maple, and I'd go and dig it out of people's gardens. And what I found about Japanese maples is that if you're digging up a big old Japanese maple, they're the easiest tree in the world to dig up because they don't have a lot of root compared to other trees. Now what that means, it means that if you've got, if you were to grow a nice tree close to your house, a Japanese maple is the safest rooting tree of any tree that I know. And I know that from experience of digging up Japanese maples. I used to dig them up by hand with my spade and take them into the city because there didn't used to be anyone doing that sort of business in the old days. Like they didn't have. Now these days you buy them from a nursery. Now what's amazing about this one here is that we've got a Japanese maple 20-inch pot, normally $500. Now this one here is about 2.6 meters tall, really bushy, and we've got 3 of them reduced to $189.99. So $189.99 for these 20-inch pot Japanese maples. You really can't go wrong. At $189.99, it reduced from basically from $500. So it's 60% off. That is.
Yeah, that's crazy, and you can't even see it. I don't think you can see it on our camera. It goes above the area where the camera is. Basically getting a feature tree for $190. How many of those?
Didn't we have a nice one of those with some?
There's only 3 of those available. Yeah, there's only 3 of those available. So there are some really crazy deals. Chris is requesting a slightly different product to look at here.
Anyway,
it's got a lovely autumn colour though.
What we've got here is a Sensation Maple. Now, a Sensation Maple has the most amazing orange autumn colour. It's a sort of a glowing burnt orange, and unfortunately in transit this one here has shed its leaves, but we'll see if we can see. But beautiful burnt orange. Now what's great about this is an Acer Negundo, and when the Dust Bowl occurred last century, Oklahoma, and that was in ruins from drought and blowing dirt and dust, and I think they planted Chinese elms and box elders, and they planted about 15 million trees, and they beat the Dust Bowl in America.
Really?
And
from these ones?
Yeah, they used box elders. Now this is a modern form of box elder that has much more beautiful autumn colour, but this is a beautiful autumn colour tree. But if this type of tree could beat the Dust Bowl, if you've got a tough location and you want a beautiful autumn colour maple, this is a fabulous autumn colour maple that can grow in the toughest situation that you can find: heat, wind, drought, poor soil. Basically, imagine these ones conquered the American Dust Bowl back last century. So fantastic plant, and we've got them cheap. $149. We're knocking off they're normally $149.99 in a 12-inch pot, and we're knocking off $100, and they're $49.99. So $49.99. Yeah.
Yeah, these are crazy cheap deals on these particularly on these big feature plants that take years and years to grow. There's only limited quantities on a lot of this stuff that we've just seen, so you need to act fast. You can purchase this online at hellohelloplants.com.au. I did want to mention, if you're just watching us on TikTok, you've got about 9 minutes left to gift Chris 3 roses. We have a little game playing there, so if you want to gift Chris some roses, you can do that. And then make sure to leave us a like if you're watching us online right now. It does help others discover this live.
Some of you have probably been stunned at some of these specials, and you're probably wondering, how would I possibly get like a beautiful Sensation Maple for $50? You can ring up. You can come in, you just come through the door and say, give me one of them Sensation Maples for $50, and we'll do it. Or you can order online. Whatever.
Is that how the customers talk here, Chris?
Yeah, sometimes they go, give me one of them Sensation Maples, mate. At any rate, but what I want to do is I want to talk about a weeping cherry.
Oh, thank you. Actually, Ames just gave you two roses there.
Oh, thank you very much.
So thank you to Ames.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Now, let's talk about weeping cherries for a minute. When you go down to your local store, a 6-foot weeping cherry, this one here is a falling snow, and this is covered in beautiful white blossom in the springtime, and it's going to grow and cascade right down to the ground. And you go into your local store and they cost $200 or $300, and you think, why would they cost so much money? Well, I'll tell you why they cost $200 or $300. What happens? What they do is they plant a wild cherry, and it takes 2 years to grow it up 6 or 7 foot tall, and then they graft it, and it takes 2 years to grow a nice head. So 4 years to grow one of these cherries. They're 6 foot tall and they're weeping, and $200 or $250 is quite a reasonable price for something like that. But we're not doing anything like that. We're doing them for $59.99. That's way below the production cost. So $59.99, and we're clearing out a heap of them. And you may never ever, there are a couple $100. This is crazy cheap. $59.99, and this is the genuine article. Beautiful white blossom in spring, weeping cascading. Plant this properly and it'll last you for 40, 50, 60 years and be the most beautiful weeping tree.
Yeah, that is a nuts deal on that. Actually, all of these featured trees have been pretty crazy deals, but yeah, you will not find a falling snow that large and that old for $59.99. There's only 15 of those available at that price, so definitely if you want to jump on and get that now, you can head over to the website. We've dropped the link to the sale in the comments section for all social platforms as well.
Yeah, now if you were to go out to Palm Springs, you'll see these Palm Springs out the back of LA, you'll see these growing absolutely everywhere. It's the #1 plant in Palm Springs. It's really the signature plant for Palm Springs. And why that's interesting to you is that if you go out to Palm Springs, the maximum temperature there is mid to high 50s. Minimum temperature is about -10 or -12. So you got it's called high desert out there. So -10 or -12 for your minimum temperature. Mid to high 50s is your highest temperature. Rainfall, whenever, very erratic. And sounds like a bit of some parts of Victoria. It's probably a little tougher. So basically, a lot of people buy different palm trees and find that they shrivel up and die, where they are. These ones here, your Washington palm, are easy to grow anywhere in Victoria, and they're not a monstrous palm. They're a sort of a more of a medium-sized palm than, say, your date palm. And you could use these, say on your farm, you might put 2 or 3 of these on either side of the gate and create a really interesting spectacle. If you pump them with water, they grow like crazy. If you don't water them too much, they grow very slowly, but they live. They're almost impossible to kill. So Washington palm withstands heat and frost. Beautiful palm tree. There it is there. Beautiful palm tree. And we've got these ones here, reduced from $29.99 to $14.99. And this would make a lovely feature on your farm, out the front of your factory. Actually, there's a car wash near here, and I planted some down there years ago, and they look. I was driving past there the other day, and they look absolutely glorious in front of the park.
Are they really tall now? Or?
Yeah, they're really tall and beautiful straight stems. And what's great about them is that it's down in the city, on the way to the city, and they don't take up much space because they're tall and bushy, tall and skinny, and then bushy on top, so that they were able to fit in there without taking up too much of their commercial retail space.
Are these the same ones they have in California? Is it all over the place?
They're all through LA.
Yeah. Okay.
When they put in a shopping centre, you'll see them. They come in and they bring them in, and they're 6 or 7 metres tall, and they'll bring in 1,000 at a time and plant them all around, do the whole shopping centre.
There you go. If you want to have that Venice Beach look, this is the product to get, and they're only $14.99. There's not many. There's only a handful of those at that sale price there.
Yeah. Now what we've got here is your Japanese maple, 7-inch pot, 3 foot tall. These are going to have beautiful autumn colour. Now if you wanted to get into the Japanese maple, like Japanese maples can cost a fortune, these ones here are reduced from $18.99 to $14.99. So $14.99 Japanese maple. These have beautiful autumn colour, lovely small tree. And if you want something that hasn't got a bad root system, isn't going to grow too big, Japanese maple is the go.
Perfect. And what are they costing at the moment?
$14.99.
There you go, $14.99. Now you've only got 3.5 minutes left to give Chris. We're only looking for one more rose gift for Chris, if anyone's watching us there on TikTok. can do that.
Now we have.
Chris will give you another special.
Sometimes I call this one here the Big Gem or Magnolia Exmouth, and your Magnolia Exmouth, it has a big white fragrant flower. It's fast, it's tough. You can use it to screen out the neighbours, and what it does is it flowers all through the warm months of the year. It's never covered in flowers, but it'll just have one flower here and two flowers there, and it'll just and those couple of flowers. If you had 3 of these flowering in a decent sized backyard, on a hot summer's night it would fill the whole backyard with beautiful magnolia fragrance. And as you know, magnolia fragrance is one of your most beautiful fragrances. So Magnolia Exmouth, not $36.99 but $19.99. Lovely healthy plants, $19.99, ready to create a screen or a magnificent feature for $19.99.
Fantastic, and perfect for doing like a hedge or something, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. All right, so let's move along. We're still in our featured trees here category for the flash sale, getting your garden ready for Easter. Fantastic deals, all available right now on our website, hellohelloplants.com.au.
Okay, now this summer was a beautiful summer. It was a hot summer, beautiful summer for crepe myrtles, and the crepe myrtles are just finishing flowering all over Melbourne. And many of you will have seen beautiful blossoming trees covered in beautiful, you can get them in white or lots of different vivid colours. And perhaps the most vivid of all is your Tuscarora. And anyways, your Tuscarora, a sort of a really brilliant sort of maroony, pinky, mauvey sort of colour, fabulous colour. And what you'll also find is Tuscarora is one of the strongest growing and biggest of your crepe myrtles. So very strong grower, big tree, vivid colour. And you know, normally you can't get one for under about $30. We sell these ones like that for $19.90. This one's been reduced to $10.90. So have a look what you get. You're getting a beautiful crepe myrtle now. If you pop this in now and water and fertilise it well, it'll be flowering next summer.
Lovely. There you go. It's all part of our Growers Direct flash sale. 1 minute left if anyone wants to gift Chris a rose.
Yes. Now this here is your dwarf red crepe myrtle. Now this, if you wanted a crepe myrtle, like say you thought, oh, I can't get the crepe myrtles are trees, I can't put one in my garden. This one here is a dwarf red one. It's only going to grow waist high maximum. You can trim it a little bit, grow it in a pot. So if you want to get it into crepe, and crepe myrtles have beautiful summer blossom and then they follow that with beautiful autumn colour. And this is a red dwarf crepe myrtle, beautiful plant and great way to get into a crepe myrtle if you haven't got room for a big tree.
All right, great. What are they costing?
$10.99. So $10.99 for a dwarf red crepe myrtle.
Yeah, and they have a really beautiful colour flower, as you can see in the background there. All right, let's have a look at what we have next on our Growers Direct flash sale.
Right, so what we've got is a Shaina Standard. Now your Shaina Standard is...
Was it a Shaina? Oh, okay. Anaba Shadari.
Oh, that's an Anaba Shadari. Okay, sorry. Thank you. I was just seeing if you guys were on the ball. I just threw that out there like that just to make sure, just testing you.
That's right.
Yeah. So at any rate, so this one here, normally 200, now this is a beautiful weeper. This is going to come up and it's going to cascade down to the ground, and this could be grown in a pot. It could be grown in a small garden bed. It could be grown as part of a beautiful Japanese garden. And basically this one here has been reduced from $299 to $139.99, and that's for a top quality Japanese maple. That's really weeping Japanese maple is really cheap. And do you know why would this sort of thing cost, say, $2.99 in the first place? Do you know it takes about 3 years to grow the base of that, and then they've grown the top of it for 2 years. So this is from the time the nurseryman planted the seed to where it is now. It's 5 years of age.
Yeah,
and give it another 2 or 3 years, and it'll be a magnificent tree that would cost maybe $700 or $800. So
absolutely, a lot of work's gone into that to have it as beautiful as it is right now.
Yeah, and we've got that for $139.99.
Yeah, crazy cheap. All part of the Growers Direct flash sale.
Yeah, now the Shaina, these are only $119.99, reduced from $149.99 to $119.99. Now what will happen, this is going to become very dense and bushy. This will become a really tight red, as you see up there, really tight red ball. It's kind of almost crimson pink in spring, browny red in summer, and then incredible scarlet in the autumn. Grow it in a pot, grow it in the garden, grow it in a small garden as a specimen, put it in your Japanese garden. A great source of Japanese maple colour in the garden, reduced from $149.99 to $119.99.
Fantastic value, and we've got a few videos on those if you want to learn more about the Shaina maple. Also, I just wanted to quickly mention we have a comment here from Aidan saying, "Where's your pink tutu, Chris?"
It's in the wash actually.
The marketing expert.
In the wash,
what did
but
the marketing expert say about it last time?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the marketing expert said I needed to add a bit of sex appeal to the show, and what I'm going to do is our next one of these is next just before Easter, next Wednesday at this time. And I'll wear my pink tutu. I'll be looking gorgeous. I'll be adding that extra bit of sex appeal because of Easter. Okay, perfect. Yeah. And
I hope our editors heard that. Next Wednesday, we're live.
Yeah.
They're excited.
So here we have your Senkaki maple. Now I just did a garden design, and the lady wanted something in front of her house, and she wanted some colour, she wanted some beauty, and she wanted something that wasn't going to wreck her foundations or wreck her house or anything like that. She wanted something close to the house. And so I recommended the Senkaki maple because the Senkaki maple doesn't grow too big. You can control it with a little bit of a trim. It doesn't have a big bad root system, and it's going to give her year-round colour. Brilliant red stems in the winter, sort of pinky orangey greeny foliage in spring with beautiful red stems, lovely green foliage all through the summer, and then you've got fantastic pinks and oranges and reds, beautiful mix of colours in the autumn. So for colour every day of the year, for a small tree that's not going to cause a problem. And what is, we've got advanced ones now. These are normally $429.99, and we're doing these for $249.99.
Amazing. All right, so that's reduced down from $450 basically to $250. And these feature trees, like, you can't even fit them on the camera. They're huge, so you get instant gratification in the garden, don't you, Chris?
Yes, that's right.
All right, amazing. All available right now to purchase from the flash sale on our webpage, hellohelloplants.com.au. You'll find everything you need there.
Now, here's your Jeffers Red Maple. I'm going to pluck a leaf off the bottom. Now, I was up the country this week, and I did some videos, and they'll be coming out in the next week or so.
Let's have a look at that,
Jeffers Red, fantastic. I think it's my favourite red maple.
Great.
But that's not why I like it. The red is just part of the picture. The thing with the Jeffers Red Maple, it's fast. It grows in a beautiful pyramidal shape without you doing any trimming or pruning. So it's fast, beautiful pyramidal shape, and it really takes heat and wind and poor soils. So really, your Jeffers Red, if you live in hot country, if you've got poor soil, if you want a fast tree, if you want the best red autumn colour, I reckon Jeffers Red is the go. Now these ones here are Jeffers Red, reduced from $99 to $54.99. So $99 to $54.99. So $54.99. And if you have a look at it, I'm 1.8.
It's a good size, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right up there. It's about 1.5. So it's a good start. It's a great start on a maple for $54.99.
Perfect. The Jeffers Red gives you a beautiful autumn colour, all part of the Growers Direct flash sale. All right, let's see what we've got next.
Now what we've got here is a Chinese redbud. Now your Chinese redbud has the most gorgeous, in springtime, it has the most gorgeous blossom, and the blossom is sort of like spidery fingers, and it's all over the stem. And as this fills out and becomes a beautiful full tree, this blossom stuck to the stem is just fantastic. So if you're after an amazing blossom tree, and the blossom comes early, it's sort of like end of August, and then in summer you've got these beautiful big heart-shaped foliage, and it's a beautiful tree. Doesn't mind a prune, you can keep it in check, doesn't have a bad root system. At any rate, and instead of paying $39.99, they're $19.99. So $19.99, and they're 1.5 easily. So easily 1.5. Great value for $19.99.
Perfect. That's the Chinese redbud. They do have flowers, don't they? You can see it in the background there, yeah. All right, beautiful. So they're reduced down to $19.99 as part of the flash sale. All right, what's this next one here, Chris?
So what we've got here, and you've got to kind of think backwards, this is called June snow. So in America, you'll often get a bit of out of season snow here or there, and because the weather can come down from the Arctic. And so what they're talking about is June, they're talking summer snow. So basically this is going to be a fast growing, beautiful dogwood, and the branches are going to grow out like that. And then right at Christmas time, it's going to have a snow-like cover of amazing white blossom. So a beautiful, pure white blossom in a snow-like cover over the branches in summer. So it's really, instead of calling it June snow, should be calling it summer snow. So basically, now these are beautiful big plants. You see, it's a lovely big plant. And instead of paying $179.99, these are $69.99. $69.99. So
They got
if you
a few
want a
prongs on them as
beautiful,
well, don't they? Like,
yeah, if you want a beautiful dogwood. Now dogwoods can grow in the shade of other trees. Like if you go to where they grow wild, you'll see that you have oaks and pines and things growing up high, and then your dogwood would be the bush that grows underneath. So if you've got a shady area and you want a really full tree that loves the shade, your dogwood, you can't beat it. Doesn't have a bad root system, grows perhaps 3.5, 4 meters tall. And this one here is $69.99, a beautiful mature bush, and that'll be flowering next spring.
all right, there you go. Up and Adam asks, what is it? But I think you answered it there. It's a June snow dogwood.
Yeah.
Now, how many likes would it take to get you in the pink tutu, Chris?
Probably one. Just one. One like.
Is it actually ready? No, that's not enough. What about 20 roses?
It doesn't take much to get me in the pink tutu. I love it.
All right, we can set a bit of a game.
Now,
so
what I want, have a look here. Have a look here. Look at this beautiful autumn colour. Now, this is what was missing off that last Sensation maple. These are little Sensation maples, and the colour is absolutely sensational.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Now, when one of these is growing, what's interesting, if you had one of these growing in your garden, now when I often use these in my garden designs, when I get a young family and they've got an empty backyard and there's no shade there, this is one of the fastest shade trees you'll ever get. The trunk goes straight up, she bushes right out. In 3 or 4 years, you could have the whole family sitting in the shade of one of these Sensation maples. And that's buying the little one like this. So this one here reduced from $49.99 to $24.99. And look at the colour in those leaves. Now what's great about Sensation maples, they start to colour in February, and when they're growing in the ground, they don't drop as early as this. They start to colour in February, and they'll colour right through till June. So very, very long colouring, and wonderful, and probably the fastest. If you're looking for a shade tree in the backyard that drops its leaves and gives you a bit of sun in the winter, you cannot beat a Sensation maple.
Amazing. All part of the Growers Direct flash sale.
Yeah,
all these products.
Yeah, somebody might say they're actually sensational.
Sensational, exactly. Yeah. Well, this next product, you can't even see it on the camera here.
Could you get this and lay it down over there so they can see the top of this, please? Sort of to put it in on a diagonal.
Yeah, we can see that now. Wow.
Yeah. Now.
Probably don't have to do that for the whole time, but yeah, that's enough. I think. Asa
Frank Red Point, a 20-inch maple. It's
huge maple.
It's about 4 meters, 3.5, 4 meters tall, and it's been reduced from $400 to $239.99. And it's a brilliant autumn colour. So if you're after a brilliant autumn colour tree, this is it.
Amazing autumn colour. What was the price on it?
It's been reduced down to $239.99.
Wow, that's crazy. You have an instant feature tree with that.
Yeah.
For that price, and we've only got what? How many of those have we got?
We've only got 3.
Okay. So yeah, that one you do need to rush onto if you want to get one of those. Only 3 available. Hey, do you sell, Chris, just a quick question here, asking, do you sell Magnolia alba, Machilia? I don't know if that's
Yes,
Machilia
we do.
alba.
We have some of the biggest and best Machilia albas you've ever seen, and they're in flower now, and they're giving off the most fabulous fragrance. So come in and check them out.
Excellent. Any of part of the sale at all or not?
No, not this time. But give me a ring, and I'll put one on sale for you.
There you go. Personal flash sale just for you.
Yeah, a private personal flash sale.
Private flash sale.
Yeah. So anyway, so what we've got here is a ginkgo maiden tree, reduced from $39.99 to $23.99. Now ginkgos are beautiful trees. They have a brilliant gold autumn colour. You can see that. Like, have a look. Here's one that's fully in colour. This leaf here. Just have a look at how wonderfully gold. So if you've got red autumn colour and you want to get a bit of gold in your garden, have a look at that. Look at that gold there. Look at that. So.
And they're herbal, aren't they? Like a herbal remedy.
Actually,
I think they use them
when I travelled in China years ago, at the end of the meal, they'd put out a sweet ginkgo soup, and it would have honey and ginkgo nuts in it, and a bit of citrus, and it was beautiful. So they eat the nuts, they love it as a dessert, and they have various herbal uses, you know, like to improve your memory and various things like that. So ginkgo has lots and lots of uses, but also traveling in China years ago, I would sometimes see a village, a small village in the rice
surrounded
fields
by these,
with one ginkgo that covered the whole village. So if you hang on to one of these for 300 or 400 years, it'll actually grow big enough to cover a village. Yeah.
Lovely. Someone's asking, are the roots invasive?
No, they're not especially. You'll find most of your nut trees, and this is a nut tree, don't have invasive roots. So it doesn't have a terrible invasive root.
All right, there you go. I think that was Bella who asked that question. Yeah, Bella. All right, cool. We're still in the feature tree section.
Yeah. Now what we've got here is an Orangeola Japanese maple, and it's so bushy I'm swamped by it.
You can run around in the nude behind that one? Or?
Yeah. So Orangeola Japanese maple, one like this, normally $549.99. It's reduced to $279.99. Now, do you know that this would have, the head on this would be 3 years old and the understock would be 4 years old. So this is a 7-year-old Japanese maple. Orangeola is quite a rare one. I've got one out the front that's just starting to turn and just getting those orange tones in it as it turns. But so if you want a weeping maple that's not too spreading, one that sort of just comes straight down with very dense foliage and beautiful sort of subtle changes in colour, it would be hard to beat this one here. So Orangeola maple, $549 down to $279.99. So
yeah, and we're only doing 2 at that price. It's basically half price. There's only 2 available. Check them out on the Growers Direct flash sale happening right now.
Now what we have here is an Acer globosum, and rather this tree here, it's sort of a bit autumny, a bit yuck looking at the moment, but these are a great tree, and what it is, you get a lovely big leafy ball on a stick. So a beautiful big leafy ball on a stick. Now what I like about Acer globosum is most trees, you sort of say to people, look, this would be a good tree, but it throws suckers, or but it does this, or but it does that. And basically your Acer globosum would be the least offensive tree. It doesn't have bad roots, it doesn't throw suckers, it doesn't drop fruit, it doesn't drop anything apart from leaves in the autumn. It's a wonderful tree, and normally they're a bit expensive and a bit hard to get. And this one here has been reduced from $229.99 to $99.99. So $99.99 for an Acer globosum. And,
wow.
And that's the ball on a stick maple. It's your modern popular mop top type tree.
Yeah, more than half price too at the moment.
And when you've got these established in your garden, they give off the most beautiful orange autumn colour.
Beautiful. All right, so more than half price on that one as part of the feature trees in the Getting Your Garden Ready for Easter flash sale.
So what we have here is a forest pansy. Now forest pansy, beautiful pink blossom in spring, and then as that pink blossom starts to fade, there's a lovely bright sort of mauvey pink. As it starts to fade, these amazing almost black leaves emerge amongst the pink foliage. They get almost a black leaf, and then they turn sort of all purple through the summer, and then right through into autumn they stay purple, as you see here. Beautiful, and it's a beautiful heart-shaped leaf. Look at it, that beautiful heart-shaped leaf like that, just like and then as you get into the last bits of autumn, they go like a kaleidoscope. They go you get every different colour. So most amazing autumn colour, and then they're bare for the winter. So that's your forest pansy 16-inch pot. Normally $300. These have been reduced to $169.99.
Amazing. All part of the Growers Direct flash sale happening right now. You can purchase these products right now. There are limited quantities.
Okay, so here we have an Acer Red Dragon. Unfortunately, it's dropped a lot of its foliage, but this is a beautiful collector's type maple. One like this has a lovely strong straight stem. It's going to bush right out next spring, and this has been reduced from $439.99 to $189.99. And Red Dragon is a really, not a purpley colour, but more of a reddy red. So if you want a really reddy red maple, and look, it's really tall. A lot of people graft them down low, but this one's been grafted up nice and tall. Beautiful tall maple, reduced to $189.99.
Wow, there you go. That's the Red Dragon Japanese maple, and it's way more than half price at the moment. There's only 2 of those available at that price.
Yep. So now
We're into our foliage plants and flowering shrubs now.
yeah. So now we're into flowering shrubs, and we're
From feature trees.
We're looking at snowball bushes. There we are, the beautiful snowball bush, and these are 8-inch pots. Now, what's going to happen with these is that in springtime, they're just covered in beautiful white balls like this, like snowballs, and it's an amazing thing to have in the springtime. And it's a very, very hardy tree that anybody could grow almost anywhere. Grows. You can trim it and you could keep it down at say 1.6, 1.8 meters, or you could let it go and it could end up probably 3.5 meters, and almost like a small tree. And there it is there, look, an amazing show of white flowers. So snowball bushes, normally a bit expensive, a bit hard to get. Our normal price is $41.99. These are $16.99. So $16.99 for a snowball bush, and they're lovely, healthy ones. And these will be throwing a couple of snowballs next spring.
Awesome, and then we've got a question from Ava asking how to order the red dragon maple. Well, you got to be quick, don't you?
Well, what you've got to do is you can ring up and say, "Give me that red dragon maple that I saw there on the online," you know, or you can come in and say, "Give me that red dragon maple," or you can go online and you type it in and get it.
All right, so we've actually got we've dropped it in the comment section that has the link. So head over to that page. And you can order it online, or you can give us a call on 03 9359 3331. There's only 2 of those available at that price. So you do need to act fast if you are after those as part of the flash sale.
Okay, so what we've got now is lavender Avon View in 8-inch pots, normally $26.99. Now in springtime, these are going to be covered in beautiful purple fragrant flowers. And this Avon View lavender would be one of my first choices if I was making a lavender hedge. And what I like about Avon View lavender, it flowers for a long, long time. Probably flowers for 4, 5, 6 months of the year. And I mean, it just brush it then, my hand is just covered in the most beautiful fragrance. So Avon View, and the other thing, some lavenders are fairly short-lived, but your Avon View lavender, I reckon you're going to get somewhere between 5 and 7 years from your Avon View lavender. So longer lived than most lavenders, beautifully fragrant, purple flowers, reduced from $26.99 to $10.99 for beautiful big strong plants like this, only $10.99.
Yep, great. Grab those flash sale deals while you can. hellohelloplants.com.au, and leave us a like if you're enjoying this live here today, or you like what you see. Definitely helps others discover this live that's happening right now. Right
now, hydrangeas are going through a period of amazing popularity. People are crazy for hydrangeas. And then what they're really, really crazy for is white hydrangeas. And what they love most of all is the white ball hydrangea. Now this is your white ball hydrangea, a real garden classic. And these ones here have been reduced from $19.99 to $12.99. So $12.99, and they're beautiful big plants. You might get a flower or two next spring, but certainly the year after you'll get lots and lots of flowers.
There we go.
But look at the big strong plants that you get for $12.99.
Yeah.
They would have to be, and they're the white ball, one of the most sought after hydrangeas of all. And this, if you want to get a few hydrangeas going in the garden, $12.99 for beautiful big strong plants is fantastic.
And what are they costing on the flash sale?
$12.99.
Perfect. From $20.
Yeah. Now have a look here. Round the traps, it's been 70, 80, 90 bucks for a 4-foot standard iceberg. And these are beautiful strong ones. They're in their second year. They're beautiful strong plants, and they're $49.99. 49 reduced from $79.99 to $49.99.
Yeah, they're really nice and big established ones too.
Yeah, so pop these in the garden, give them a good feed, and you'll have a fabulous show this spring.
Yeah, or if you're putting your house on the market, you got instant gratification with those, don't you?
Yeah, you could add $10,000 or $20,000 of value by putting a row of these out the front of your house if you're going on the market.
Oh, there you go. It's part of the flash sale. Those are available right now, and there's only a few at that price.
Yeah.
We've only got a handful of those at that price. There you go.
This is your butterfly bush or gaura. And gauras are fantastic because, and they actually, if you're putting in a row of iceberg roses, you could finish it off with a pop with a few of these in between. These grow about 3 foot tall, and they flower for 5 or 6 months of the year with beautiful white little sort of butterfly-like flowers, and they're a lovely, strong bushy flower.
Beautiful. So that's the Gowras, the white butterfly bush, which are on special right now for $6.99, reduced from $14.99. It's all available right now as part of the flash sale.
Yeah. This lady can come in and choose if she wants. You just work in there. It's fine.
All right, great. Let's keep going here as the
Okay.
Growers Direct Flash Sale. We've got a lot of products to get
So
through.
Dwarf Nandina. Now, one of the most popular plants in this nursery is the old Dwarf Nandina. I've got landscapers coming in buying 50 or 100 at a time. People that own factories, petrol stations, shops, units, blocks of units. It's what plant this with a few native grasses. These turn bright red in the winter, as you see here. Beautiful
Yeah,
colour.
it's
Plant them
amazing.
up the driveway. Plant them everywhere. Plant them with abandon, and they've been reduced. Beautiful, healthy bushy plants have been reduced from $6.99 to $4.99.
That's right, $4.99 each at the moment, and
Yeah.
again, limited quantities of those at that price. So if you do want to get them, now is the time to do it. Head over to hellohelloplants.com.au. You can drop into our comments section. We've got the links in our various social platforms.
Talking
there.
about Nandinas, this is your Nandina Moon Bay, which is a little bit more modern and trendy than the old Nandina. Different texture, a little bit of different colour, and these are beautiful big bushy plants. Look at how big and bushy that is there. And at your local store, these could be 14 or 15 bucks. We've got these for $6.99. So $6.99 for Moon Bay Nandinas.
Absolutely amazing.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong. Again, limited quantities. Growers Direct Flash Sale. Looking at foliage plants and flowering shrubs at the moment.
If you've got a balcony on a windswept unit and you're wondering what you can grow out there, you can grow these agaves, and in no time at all they become lovely big rosettes. If you're by the beach and it's a bit salty and windy, grow agave. Agaves, if you're the sort of person who goes off interstate for a couple of months at a time and all your plants are dead, when you come back, grow agaves. Agaves make this beautiful big rosette that you see here, and they're absolutely fabulous. See, they do great by the sea, fabulous plant. But if you have any sort of problem with your garden, the answer is probably an agave. Like, agaves are indestructible.
Lovely.
The only thing
what do they cost? Oh yeah, go on. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
the only thing you'd want to keep in mind is don't grow them in a really badly frosty spot, because they don't like terrible frost. But anywhere in the city, in Melbourne and that, where it's not too frosty, they're fantastic. And these have been reduced from $19.99 to $7.99. So $7.99 for agaves, and the answer, you know, if you need the pot plant that will never die, it's an agave.
Absolutely. Grows in a temperate climate. Agaves pretty much grows anywhere though. $7.99, amazing, as part of the Growers Direct Flash Sale. All of these products are available right now, aren't they, Chris?
What's that?
All of these products are available to purchase
right now. You can come in and just grab them.
At these deals, they won't last long though. Limited quantities.
And what we've got here, so you can go online, go on the phone, come in here, do whatever you want, come in and all available right now. Now here we've got your pink diosma. Now your pink diosma is the one with green foliage, and people in my suburb grow them into a hedge. They grow them into a beautiful trimmed hedge, and when they cover that, and when you've got that trimmed hedge with the beautiful pink flowers in springtime, they look fantastic. They have almost like, they remind me of Scottish heather or something like that. They're lovely to touch. We've done a couple of videos of hedges of these, so you'll probably see them on YouTube. And they have a lovely smell to them too. And they're one of the toughest plants around. You trim them into a round ball shape, cut them into a head shape, have them as a specimen, just let them go somewhere. They're really, really tough. And in an 8-inch pot, they're normally $24.99, and we're doing them for $10.99. Nice big bushy ones. Look how nice and big and bushy that is. Really, really good.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that's the pink diosmas as part of the Growers Direct Flash Sale. So what were we going to say about that?
A lot of nurseries would be selling a 6-inch pot for more than that. So that's an 8-inch, a big bushy 8-inch pot for less than you'd expect to pay for a 6-inch pot.
Amazing. Now just quickly before we move on, we've got someone here. It almost sounds like a Frank Zappa song actually, the name of this person. Muffin Cupcake Healer really wants to see you in the pink tutu, Chris. They've given you 21 roses, which means a lot on TikTok, or more, I believe.
Wow.
So we'll see if we can whip it out of the, where is it? It's in the dry cleaners or something, isn't it?
It's actually on the floor of the car.
All right, well, we'll see what we can do, Muffin Cupcake Healer. You like that name, Chris?
Yeah, I love it.
Sounds like you're in some kind of Frank Zappa song with a name like that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. we'll see if we can get someone to get it for you, and Chris will get into his pink tutu for you.
Right, so now we've got Canna Tropicana Gold. Now your Canna Tropicana Gold, beautiful golden foliage, lovely orange flowers, tough, great for summer colour, grow 'em around the pool, get that real tropical feel into your garden. And these are normally a bit pricey, $29.99, but we've got them for $14.99. So $14.99, nothing's going to give you more colour for $14.99.
Beautiful, and they're nice and big too for that price. Yeah. $14.99, part of the Growers Direct flash sale.
Now, here we have Halo Ivory Dawn. Now this is, if you need something really tough, like really tough, say you live out in the Mallee somewhere and you want something nice and flowery at the front gate that looks a bit different, here we have it. It's Halo Ivory Dawn, and this has a beautiful white flower, or sort of pinky white flower that you see here. Beautiful pinky white flower, really like nice. That fabulous flower, and the flowers in the dead of winter. So when everything else is looking dull and miserable, your Ivory Dawn comes to life and gives you beautiful flowers. And for the rest of the year, it sits around and looks kind of striking and modern. And most of all, it's pretty much indestructible.
Perfect. That is an amazing looking flower. So you're going to get colour in winter with that one.
Yeah.
Now all of these products are available right now. Oh, we do have the pink tutu as well, which has just arrived. Okay.
So do you want to take over here for a minute while I get changed? You do a couple of plants.
Oh, what? You want me to do them?
Oh, okay. Well, hang on. Wait a second. I'll do it.
Yeah. You can just come off camera quickly and do it.
Okay, I'd have to. We'll do a couple more and then I'll rush off and do it. Okay, so Hydrangea quercifolia, oak leaf hydrangea. Now these, normally you can't get one of these for under $30. These are beautiful ones in 6-inch pots, and we've reduced them from $19.99 to $10.99. Now what I love about the oak leaf hydrangea, look at that beautiful purple foliage. So in summer, these are beautiful green oak leaf hydrangea. They have lovely green foliage and fabulous white flowers. And then a lot of hydrangeas look a bit sort of yucco in the winter, but this hydrangea here, fabulous white flowers in spring, and then these purple leaves, and the purple leaves hang on all winter long. So they hang on all winter long.
Perfect. All right, so this is all part of our Growers Direct flash sale.
And only $10.99.
$10.99 reduced from $19.99. A lot of these products are half price and more than half price as well.
Right. Now what we've got here is everybody knows the your Indian hawthorn and your and this one here, and the one that grows into a beautiful round ball, which is called the Oriental Pearl, but this one here is called Spring Pearl, and Spring Pearl is a lot cheaper than your Oriental Pearl. These ones here are reduced from $34.99 to $21.99, so $21.99. And what these do is that these grow into a beautiful green ball without you doing any trimming, and then that beautiful green ball is then covered in amazing white flowers. So if you want something super duper, I use these in my garden designs when people want something super duper low maintenance and super duper tough. So these are the toughest, one of the toughest plants on the market, and one of the lowest maintenance plants on the market.
Perfect. All right, it's all part of the Growers Direct flash sale. As we look at these plants, are limited quantity, by the way. All available right now online, or you can come in store or give us a call and purchase away.
Yeah, now this is something a lot of people want to purchase. This is your Sunday Phrase hydrangea. Now your Sunday Phrase hydrangea has like these big balloon white flowers. These are just baby ones with baby flowers. But as they mature, they'll get enormous white flowers. And what's great about Sunday Phrase, apart from having beautiful white flowers that then turn pink as you go into autumn, these Sunday Phrases are sun hardy. So as long as they're given plenty of water, these will grow in the sun. So great for the sun, and beautiful hydrangea to have a different leaf, big flower, turns pink in the autumn, and loves the sun. And they're reduced from $39.99 to $29.99. So $29.99, 8-inch pot Sunday Phrase, you can't go wrong.
Perfect. Now, Chris, if you want, you can jump into that pink tutu. I've calculated we've got about 5 minutes up our sleeve, so you can just put it over your pants.
Maybe you could talk.
Yeah, I'm going to talk.
Where's
don't
the
worry.
tutu?
All right, so
thanks.
Chris is getting into his pink tutu as part of a challenge that we just ran on the Growers Direct flash sale. So hang tight for that, and you'll get to see him in his pink tutu. But before we get to see that, we will have on a couple of our social platforms there, you can see the QR code, which takes you directly to the page of the Growers Direct Flash Sale. And we're looking at plants, which is basically getting your garden ready for Easter. So looking to do your garden up, now is the time. We've also dropped in the comment section the link, and we're going to be open the whole Easter long weekend too. I should probably mention that. We're offering free home delivery, which is a staple at Hello Plants, and we also offer free delivery for orders over $300. I should probably stipulate that. And we deliver to Melbourne, Geelong, Bendigo, Ballarat, Shepparton, Traralgon. You can call us on 039359 331. We actually have a bunch of sales staff right now who can take your call, and you can purchase any of these products. Right now, these products are for sale at this price, and you will not find these prices at any other time. All right, Chris is back. Here
Do you know, and the thing is, I love putting it on. I would have done it for one rose. I would have done it for one rose. So there we are.
Hang on, he's off camera. You got to go and it's very unsatisfactory if you're not on camera. There you go. There you go, you did it.
How's that?
All right, we lived up to the dare, guys. Yeah. Are you going to keep it on, or are you going to?
Oh, of course.
All right, well, we'll have to set another challenge, probably. There you go, and the store is 1477 Sydney Road, Camberfield. So if you do want to visit, you can visit us in store, 1477 Sydney Road, Camberfield. Leave some likes for Chris for getting in the pink tutu for you there today, and we'll continue on with the deals.
Okay. So what we have here is we have the Cotinus grey smokebush. Now, Cotinus grey smokebush, this is a great time of year to be looking at it. I want you to look at this beautiful it's a combination of pink and purple. And at any rate, so Cotinus grey has it's not just purple, it's sort of pink and purple mixed together. It has beautiful sort of smoky flowers in summer. You could call it a small tree or a big bush, and they can be a bit pricey at times, but we've reduced this from $39.99 to $19.99. So $19.99 Cotinus grey smokebush, and they're a good size, good healthy bush too.
Perfect, absolutely perfect. All part of the flash sale, half price at the moment. All right, let's look at our next product.
Now, this one here is called Tardiva. It's a Hydrangea paniculata tardiva. You'll find it quite sun hardy. It has a different style of flower to you, and it's basically, this is a Japanese variety, and what's popular in America is that they grow what they call hydrangea trees, where they have a trunk and then they have a tree on top. And this is a very strong grower. You look at these shoots here, really strong grower. You could train this very easily into a hydrangea tree. Now, Tardiva in 8-inch pot, normally $39.99. These are $19.99. Beautiful white flowers, turning pink in the autumn. Hardy, beautiful hydrangea, sun hardy. So, and $19.99 Tardiva, and good choice if you want to grow a hydrangea tree.
Perfect, and there's only a few of those available as part of the flash sale, so you do need to act quick. All of these products are limited quantities as well. I should probably mention that. Now,
I put these in because it's a shrub with a bit of a difference. If you have a look here, you've got the most beautiful white flowers. We did a video of these in flower in springtime, and fabulous, but I thought I'd bring it back again because of the fabulous autumn colour. So some things have fabulous flowers, but then they don't do anything else. Here, this is a medium-sized bush. Amazing white flowers in spring, incredible show, lovely luscious green foliage through the summer, and then beautiful autumn colour, and that autumn colour comes for ages. Look at the colour here, and the Placata Marisa reduced from $36.99 to $19.99. So $19.99 for amazing. The Viburnum Marisa.
And we're getting really nice autumn colours now, aren't we? Yeah. With a lot of these products.
Now I need to show you what we've got here. Is we've got Tipicina Peace Baby, which is a Lasiandra, and I'll just show you. Have a look at this here. I'll bring it up close and show you. Look, this one here. It'll be another week or two. This is going to be covered in those beautiful flowers, and it's going to flower for weeks and weeks and weeks. And have a look at the buds in the top there. See those flower buds there? I reckon if I was to count them up, there's 50 or 60 flower buds there. So these are going to put on a fabulous autumn, early winter show.
Lovely.
and you put them in a bit of a sheltered spot. I remember when I was a kid, we had a beautiful Tipicina under our Magnolia out the front because we're in a bit of a frosty area. And so your Tipicina Peace Baby, where is it? Tipicina Peace Baby reduced from $36.99 to $19.99, and they're beautiful big bushes. Look at the size of that. Look at that up against my pink tutu. Wonderful.
Fantastic.
And, yeah. And
all part of the Gross Direct
$19.99.
flash sale, $20 at the moment. Yep, absolutely fantastic. All right, let's look at this next one.
People have been driving right across Melbourne to come here because we always have plenty of these foxtail ferns, and we've potted a few up into bigger pots. So if you're looking for a big foxtail fern that's going to create an immediate impact, these ones here are normally $89.99. We've knocked off $20, $69.99, and these foxtail ferns are hard to get, and big ones like this are almost impossible to get. So $69.99, and you've got a beautiful full one like that, and we're letting 20 of them go at $69.99. So if you wanted to plant 4 or 5 of these on the porch, go ahead. And when I often plant these with the silver Dichondra, I think they go beautiful with silver Dichondra, so they can cascade over the side.
All right, that's the asparagus fern, down to $69.99 for that huge size there. Part of the flash sale.
Now, when I'm doing garden designs, this is one of my favourite plants. Have a look at the colour here. And you see the little white flowers and hints of red and lots of gold. And this is called kaleidoscope. It's a type of dwarf and you can trim this into and grow it as a beautiful gold. You can have this as a beautiful golden ball in the garden. You can grow it as a hedge, grow it just as a lovely loose specimen. Chuck one in your cottage garden. Fabulous plant. And they could be a bit pricey down in your local store. You'll probably find a 6-inch pot's going to cost $24, $25. We normally sell them for $21.99. But we've got beautiful big bushy plants like this, really fabulous plants. And that plant there is $12.99. So $12.99. Have a look at that.
$12.99, part of the Growers Direct flash sale.
Yeah, $12.99, really, really good value.
That is very good value, and it is available right now in limited quantities at hellohelloplants.com.au.
Now this is a really interesting plant. I've never had one of these up for sale in the flash sale before, and basically this is a Physocarpus Ninebark. Now if you say you've got, say you want something that kind of, these grow about 1.5 meters tall, 1.5 meters wide, and they're a lovely loose bush with a beautiful color in them, and they spread and they're really, really beautiful. And the foliage in spring, summer and autumn is purple. In springtime they're blessed with beautiful balls of white flowers, so you have white flowers over the purple foliage. So if you're in your cottage garden or in your garden, if you wanted sort of a loose color, and in the winter they've got beautiful arching sort of orangey brown branches. But if you wanted something loose and interesting and exciting in your garden, you can't beat these. Normally they're $21.99, and we've got them, hang on, no, that's it. Normally they're $36.99, and we've got them down to $19.99, and there's 15 of them available.
Wow, okay, that is a great price. Now, I did want to just quickly say, if you miss any of the products Chris is talking about today, this live will be available on YouTube as soon as we're finished here today, with all of the time codes for each product, so you can look at them individually and see what we have available as part of this sale.
Now what we have here is a purple flax, and it's called Dark Delight, and it's got a lovely rich colour to it. Now what's great about your purple flax is, like, you've got your purple cordylides, and your purple cordylides are going to grow up and up and up and up and up and up, and eventually you can hardly see the purple, it's up in the sky somewhere. These will just push and stay low. It'll grow maybe 1.2, 1.3 meters tall, maybe grow about that big, and give you a beautiful purple colour. Lovely, this purple colour is lovely and rich in winter. If you're designing a garden with coprosmas and various different things, so you want some great winter colour, you can't beat this one here. But down at your local nursery, 17, 18, 19 bucks. They're normally a bit pricey, these, and we normally sell them for $16.99. These are $8.99, and they're big,
massive.
Bushy. Yeah, they're massive. They're beautiful plants. And so if you're a landscaper and you're wanting to fill up and make a garden look classy, but you want to do it on the cheap, at $8.99 you cannot go wrong with these ones here. These are great for your commercial, your property developer. You could combine these with something like those kaleidoscopes, the gold of the kaleidoscope, and this lovely purple here. But at $8.99, you can come in, get a bundle of them and make a garden. Maybe you're putting a house on the market. This is a really good, cheap way to get a bit of colour in the garden.
That's a fantastic deal on those, for that size in particular.
Yeah.
Part of the flash sale, limited quantities, so getting quick.
Okay, so now we have Society Garlic. And these ones here, Society Garlic is one of those sort of slightly exotic things. You're normally paying a fair bit for it. These ones here have been reduced from $14.99 to $7.99. So $7.99. We've done a beautiful video of these. These make the most beautiful border. They flower for 5 or 6 months of the year. They're tough. They get up in Shepparton, the council grows them in roundabouts and doesn't water them at all, and they thrive up there. So really tough. They'll take the heat. They'll take the drought.
How long do they flower for?
5 or 6 months of the year, purple flowers. But basically, if you're planting these as a hedge, 1 trim a year to cut off the dead flower things, and that's all they're going to need. So they're very, very low maintenance. And when they're not flowering, you've got that lovely green and white stripe in the leaf that gives off a sort of a silvery effect, so that they're a great looking hedge, even when they're not flowering, 365 days a year. And it's $7.99, and if I was doing a hedge, I'd plant 3 of them to the metre, and you find that they'll spread and fill in beautifully.
Nice little border, yeah, perfect. $7.99 in the Growers Direct flash sale at the moment.
So here we have Carrick's Frosted Curls. Now Carrick's Frosted Curls, beautiful plant, it only grows 40 or 50 centimetres tall, sort of weeps over, and great for doing a modern landscape. And we've got them here not for $12.99 but $6.99. So if you're doing a modern landscape, a grassy landscape, these are absolutely fabulous to mix in, and at $6.99 you cannot go wrong.
Amazing. $6.99 for the Carrick's Frosted Curls at the moment. Limited quantities on the Growers Direct flash sale. All available right now online.
So here we've got Agapanthus Peter Pan. Now Peter Pan flowers for months. These have been flowering for months and months and months in our nursery, and they're reduced from $13.99, which is $13.99 is a very reasonable price, but they've been cut back to $6.99. So $6.99, and they're nice. There's in every one there. There's 4. If you they're an evergreen bulb, and there's 5 or 6 bulbs in every pot. So really good value at $6.99.
And they're the miniature ones, aren't they?
Yeah, miniature. They're never going to get much taller than about 50 centimetres, flowers and all.
Beautiful.
Now, Lomandra Tanika, these are as big and bushy as most people's 6-inch pots, and these ones here have reduced from $9.99 to $5.99. So $5.99, and they're as good as a 6-inch pot. So if you're a landscaper or a property developer and you want to make a bit of an impact on the property without spending big bucks, these are a great buy at $5.99.
Incredible. It's all part of the Growers Direct flash sale, and it's all available right now. Head over to hellohelloplants.com.au. Now this next product is a bit of a mystery on the flash sale price. Is that because you wanted to surprise us, Chris, or
it's been reduced from $14.99
to blank
to $6.99, and that's fabulous. I think most stores should be paying $12 or $14 or $15 for this, and we've got it for $6.99. And this is probably the bluest. Everyone's got blue fescue, but this beyond blue is the bluest of the lot.
Amazing. It does look great, and that'll go good with kaleidoscope too, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, it would. It's a great contrasting colour. I think your silvery blues like this go with anything, I reckon.
Awesome. Then we've got a question here from Teresa asking on the iceberg roses prices, please. I think we showed off some part of the flash sale.
Yes, we had 4-footers before for $49.99. Beautiful
too.
Big 4-footers, yeah.
Big heads on them though. That was the
and I
important
think
part.
we've got 2-footers at the moment for $27.99.
Okay. All right, there you go, Teresa.
Yeah.
That answers that for you. All right, let's keep moving along.
Now, if you're after a hardy evergreen, fast-growing hedge that'll grow in sun or shade, say a lot of hedges won't stay thick and bushy when you put them in the shade. You've got your Viburnum Coppertop, reduced from $29.99 to $17.99. So $17.99 for a big bushy viburnum like that is amazing. So
amazing, perfect for hedges.
$17.99, a fantastic value, great in the shade, great in the sun, got beautiful little coppery tips on it, but apart from that it's mostly a really, really deep, rich green. and you'll find your viburnums are very, very hardy. The bugs don't seem to worry them, easy to grow, and only $17.99. And I'd plant one of these every 90 centimetres if I was growing a hedge.
How many per hedge would you do?
70 centimetres, so that's
70 centimetres.
Yeah, so
okay.
you multiply the length of your hedge by 0.7, and you've got your number.
Okay. All right, cool. And they're on special at the moment. Only
Yeah.
$17.99 for that size. Only a few available at that
Right,
size.
right now,
That price, sorry.
our normal, we work to have the cheapest English box in Melbourne, and we've really done it. These ones here are probably, I don't know, 25 centimetres tall, really bushy, healthy. You couldn't get better looking English box. And we've knocked them down from $9.99 to $5.49. So $5.49 for 1 foot tall, beautiful English box.
That's perfect. Absolutely
$5.49.
massive too.
Plant-
$5.49, that's huge.
Plant 5 per metre. They grow in the sun or the shade. Very, very hardy. Fantastic plants.
Amazing. All right, let's move along to the next product here on the flash sale.
Now, lily pillies can cost a fortune. I don't know why they're so expensive normally. But anyway, we've got dwarf lily pillies here, reduced from $12.99 to $6.99. Now look at them, they're beautiful, they're really good size. Now I'd say that to grow a 1.8 metre hedge with these, now these are the Ajuga Smitho variety. That means that the psyllids, they're the little things that make the lumps. The beetles that just eat all the leaves off your thing, they don't touch them, and the frost doesn't worry them. So frost free, beetle free, psyllid free, hardy, tough, fast growing. I'd say you plant these, 2 years you get a 1.8 metre hedge, and you get the toughest kind of lily pilly, which is your Smitho type lily pilly, and they're only $6.99. Plant them about 90 centimetres apart.
Lovely, and they give you a nice bit of colour as well in your hedge, which is, if you're after that, a bit of red tinge, you'll get that with the Ajuga lily pilly.
Now recently I did a video on your Western Red Cedar, and the variety that we sell is the Fastigata, and these are a fantastic hedge. They don't have many diseases or problems or anything like that. A lot of the cypress has got terrible diseases. With a bit of water and fertilizer and weed control, they grow very, very quickly. They're lush and green, they're trouble free. If you run your hand over it like this and smell it, they give off the most beautiful fragrance, and this is the actual Western Red Cedar. And this particular variety was developed years ago by the Melbourne City Council, and when I was a kid, any event you went to, they had beautiful ones of these trimmed up and shaped in pots that looking absolutely fabulous. And when the Melbourne City Council had their own nursery. So these are a fabulous plant. Great if you want a hedge. Plant them about 1 metre apart, and where some of your conifer hedges, when you trim them too hard, they get bald spots in them. Your Western Red Cedar, I've seen people train them back with a chainsaw to where there was no leaves at all, and come back a year later and they're all green and lush again.
Someone was asking about that. How hard can you, trim them
Well,
back?
if you want a hedge that you really don't need to know a lot about how to make, like with a lot of these cypresses, you have to be a little bit knowledgeable to be able to do it. But with this one, you don't have to be knowledgeable. And so if you want
print them back hard.
Yeah, if you want something, simple, just water, fertilizer, no diseases, cut it however you want. It's your Western Red Cedar, and these ones have been reduced from $14.99 to $6.99, and they're good size. They're 50 centimetres out of the pot.
Yeah, that's garden sale madness right there.
And I reckon if you planted these now and gave them plenty of water, plenty of fertiliser, good weed control, I reckon you could have them as tall as me in a year.
Wow, that's really fast.
Yeah.
We've got tutu madness going on as well, don't we, Chris?
Yes,
Can you
that's right.
explain why you're in the tutu at all? Or?
Oh well, I
Give it a
said
challenge.
for one rose I'd go put on because I enjoy putting it on. And some bloke gave me 21 roses, so I really had to do it.
Yeah, you really had to do it. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all part of the Growers Direct flash sale today. Leave us some likes if you're enjoying it, and make sure to share this live with others so they can discover these incredible deals. What have we got next here, Chris?
Japanese box. Now, Japanese box can be a bit expensive and hard to get. Now, Japanese box has a different texture to your English box. It has a more lemon lime kind of colour, but most of all, it's tougher and it's faster and it's bigger. So, like, Japanese box is the main box you see in Sydney when you go around Sydney, and you see hedges that are 1.5, 2 metres tall, where you seldom see 1.5 or 2 metre tall English box hedges in Melbourne. Now, Japanese box are really catching on in Melbourne. People are trimming them into balls, and because of their colour and texture they make a beautiful box ball, or they're growing them as hedges, and they're growing them as tall, fast growing box hedges. So for a tough, tall growing fast hedge, you can't beat Japanese box, and for growing into a lovely ball, Japanese boxes are great and really, really quick. And these ones have been reduced from $12.99 to $6.99. So $6.99 for a nice big Japanese box. I'll get one out for you. They're nice and big and bushy, these ones here. What's that?
That's great. How many per metre do you need for those?
Four.
Four per metre, okay.
English I go 5, but these ones here I'd go 4.
Yeah, they're nice. I like the rounded shape the Japanese box has. It's very compact and very bushy looking.
Now here we have Tom Thumb. Now, funny story, years ago we used to sell a product called Buxus, and when I was selling Buxus, we used to guarantee that if they didn't grow, we'd replace them. We sold hundreds of thousands of them, and so when they failed, we'd get 1 or 2 people every week. We were selling tens of thousands every week, and 1 or 2 people would say they didn't grow, and we'd send out another lot of Tom Thumb. But if they complained again that they didn't grow, another lot of Buxus, which is the Lanicera. If somebody complained twice that their Lanicera didn't grow, we used to send them this one here.
This is the replacement, is it?
Yeah, we'd send them Tom Thumb. And the reason why we send them Tom Thumb is just they're really hard to kill. So if they kill, and I remember one guy in Adelaide had a bit of salt on his property, and at any rate he killed 2 lots of our Buxus, and then we sent him some of these as a replacement, and he kept buying more year after year because they really, really worked.
Oh, that's great.
So it's interesting that when all else fails, whether it be English box or any of the other box hedges,
Tom Thumb.
When you're failing, replace it with Tom Thumb, because Tom Thumb is so damn tough. It grows faster than English box, and normally they're a bit pricey, but we've got them reduced from $12.99 to $6.99, and they're a good size plant. Look at that.
Yeah, beautiful.
So $6.99, beautiful big healthy plants.
Lovely. All right, so that's the Tom Thumb on special as part of the Growers Direct Flash Sale. $6.99 each at the moment, reduced from $13. You can buy any of these plants right now at hellohelloplants.com.au.
Now, I once had a dentist come down from Shepparton, and he asked me for a good price. He wanted to buy 200 or 300 English box, and I said, how come you want to buy 200 or 300 English box? And he said, well, I planted 600 of them and half of them died. I said, oh. I said, and he was from Shepparton, and you know, you've got heat, you've got salt, you've got some wet conditions in the winter and things like that. And I said to him, I reckon that if I replace your English box, you'll be back here next year for another 200 or 300 English box, and you'll be getting nowhere. I said, rip out all your English box and replace it with these ones here. And these are Euonymus green rocket. Now these are a beautiful plant, and these are faster and tougher even than the Tom Thumb. So faster and tougher than Tom Thumb, beautiful hedge. Now
they look like English box too from here.
They do, yeah. Now what's interesting is when it's frosty in the winter, they don't discolour. But what happened with this gentleman, he ripped out all his English box, he bought 600 of these off me, and every year after that, for many years afterwards, he would extend his hedges and buy more of these, because these really, really worked. And I've actually visited his property and seen the hedges in action since, and they are a beautiful hedge. I think we're about 10 or 12 years down the track from when he first did it, and they're still looking fabulous. So green rocket, really, really tough, quite fast, beautiful hedge, going to last you a long time. And if you've got tough conditions like frost and heat and drought and things like that, hard to beat your green rocket. And these ones here, normally green rocket are a bit pricey in a 6, normally $12.99. These are down to $7.99. So $7.99, and they're big, bushy, beautiful plants. Look at that.
Yeah, beautiful hedge and screen products. Sorry, how many per metre for that one?
4 per metre.
4 per metre as well. Okay, great. All right, now we've got a huge product. Won't be able to get it in the camera, but this is perfect for screening and hedging.
Yeah, now
maybe if we put it, can we put it back a little bit and Chris comes in front of it maybe, just to give it some
put it back there so
bit of aspect of its size.
Now I want to talk about
this
one a little bit.
Back there.
I've got quite a big...
Chris, you come in front of it.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
now I've
that's
got
good.
quite a big batch of these, and this is not a ficus flash. Like everybody knows the ficus flash, but going back 30 years ago, there was no such thing as ficus flash. What people sold in the old days was Ficus hilli. Now Ficus hilli has advantages over the Ficus flash, but it's hard to get. And what the advantages are is that, first of all, if you're pleaching, that's where you're cutting off the bottom branches, your Ficus hilli has a beautiful brilliant white stem, so a lovely bright white stem. And then your Ficus hilli has denser, finer weepy, and with foliage with a little bit of weeping up, your trim sort of flops over a little bit. A really nice looking ficus. But best of all, a lot of people, even on the fringes of Melbourne, have frost damage on their Ficus hilli. And once you get out of Melbourne, sometimes the Ficus hilli can get cut right to the ground with the frost. Particularly your Ficus flash gets cut right to the ground. Your Ficus hilli, once it's been in your place for a couple of years, I've got one customer who has them growing in Mildura, and she said once they're in for 2 or 3 years, they'll take a Mildura frost, which could be down to a -5 or a -6. So frost hardy, beautiful white stem, lovely fine foliage, beautiful for bleaching, fabulous for a hedge, fabulous for a specimen, fabulous to trim into a round ball. And we've got these really big advanced ones here, reduced from $399. How tall do you reckon that is, Emlyn?
I reckon it's 3.2 or something.
Yeah. So a couple of meters, 2 or 3 meters tall, and 100 reduced from $399 to $179.99. So $179.99, and it's the real classic ficus that people had years ago. So it's not your latest one.
And that'd go good around like a swimming pool, wouldn't it, or something like that?
Yeah.
And you could do for $179. You'd only need what, like 10 of them to do a hedge or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So if you want, maybe you're putting a property on the market, you want to block out the neighbours. Very cheap, and it's a beautiful classic ficus.
Amazing. Yeah, this is the one you see all around where, like Toorak and stuff. They use those, don't they, a lot?
That's right. Yeah.
All right,
and the one that you see trimmed up in the streets, the old plantings you see around Glenroy and places like that, they're all this variety, the hilli variety. They're not the flash variety.
One, yeah.
The classic
they're really
one,
beautiful. All right, good. Let's move along. We're looking at hedges and screens as part of the Growers Direct flash sale. So if you like any of these items, they are limited quantities. You need to act fast.
If you want to mass plant glauca pencil pines, if you buy big ones, they can be quite pricey. And these are fairly small, but you shouldn't be afraid. I reckon if you planted these properly, watered and fertilised them, I expect that these would be 1.6 metres in a year and probably 2.8 metres in 2 years. So basically you could grow a hedge or a screen, an avenue with these in 2 years, and instead of paying big bucks, these have been reduced from $19.99 to $8.99. So $8.99, and you've got a lovely healthy glauca pencil pine ready to block out the neighbours. What happens, I get a lot of older people in here, and there's units going up next door and they're a couple of stories high and they want to block them off. I often recommend this because although it's not the prettiest or most exciting tree around, it's the one that's going to require the least trimming and the least maintenance for an older person. Particularly, you don't want to send old people up ladders. And this is something that you can block out the neighbours. It's tall and skinny, and you're never going to have to climb a ladder and trim it.
Perfect. All right. Well, we're gonna have to move along on these last few products here.
And they're $8.99. Those glauca pencil pines.
Awesome. All of these products are available right now to purchase on our Growers Direct flash sale page. Now, head over to Hello Plants if you want any of these.
Now, what we've got here is your white oleander. And at any rate, oleanders seem to need almost no moisture. So almost no moisture. Plant this in the driest, the worst soil you can find, and they seem to thrive. And then all summer long, they're covered in beautiful big bunches of white flowers. So fabulous bunches of white flowers all summer long, and they've reduced from $99 to $39.99. And have a look, they're 1.5, 1.6 metres tall.
Yep, perfect. All right, plant sale shenanigans. Today only at the Growers Direct flash sale. If you like shenanigans and plant sales, you've come to the right place. Yeah, let's look at the next one here.
We've got a couple of buds here. This is a lovely pink oleander, and I've seen lots of these flowering around Melbourne, and this is in a 12-inch pot, and it's about 1.6 metres tall, and it's been reduced to $39.99. So beautiful clusters of pink flowers.
From $150.
Yeah, from $150 down to $39.99. Beautiful clusters of pink flowers. Beautiful, bushy and tough. Grow this in the driest, toughest spot you got, and have lush foliage and beautiful flowers. Ends up probably 3.5, 4 metres tall and beautiful and bushy.
All right, beautiful. Let's move along to the next product here on the Growers Direct flash sale. I don't know if we have this one on our list.
Now these are a commercial fruiting strawberry, red gauntlet they are. At any rate, we've reduced them to 99 cents. Now,
Oh, amazing.
You can get your kids, bring your kids in, grab half a dozen of them, you'll keep and get your kids enthused about growing plants. And they're lovely,
Perfect for
healthy plants.
Easter.
They're a commercial variety. Get them planted, and next summer, you can be off the grid strawberry-wise.
Amazing. Perfect for Easter. Give your kids a little Easter project, isn't it?
Yeah. Get them going with some strawberries.
All right, next up, what do we have?
Now, one of Melbourne's most popular hedges, this is your silver sheen potossum. Now, what's interesting, my father was the person who brought the first small leaf potossums into Australia back in the 60s. And the first one he bought in was James Sterling, and then he bought in various different ones. And years later, after he'd been growing them for 20 odd years, I said to my dad, I said, I just want to sell one sort of potossum to people. What's the best one? And he said, silver sheen is the pick of the lot. It's fast growing, it doesn't have many diseases or bugs, really, really fast growing, easy to grow, easy to plant. And he reckons that's the best one. And these ones here reduced from $12.99 to $7.99, $7.99, and they're 60 centimeters tall, beautiful plants.
Amazing. All right, we're going to have to speed through the last few here just to keep us on time. On our Growers Direct flash sale.
So here we have the Magnolia Little Gem. And normally, you know, you'd be up around 80, 90 bucks for something about 1.2, 1.3 meters tall. And we've got these ones here reduced from $69.99 to $49.99. I've never had bigger, better magnolias for $49.99.
Yeah, that is actually incredible. Only a few of those available as we move along our Growers Direct flash sale, and there's incredible products we have for sale right now.
Now, the whole theme of this show today was to give people the right stuff for their Easter project. Now, this is one that you could put on either side of a pathway as a feature. You could grow it in a pot on a patio and get that lovely conical shape without too much trimming, or you can grow it as a hedge if you wanted, say, a conifer that wasn't too fast or too big. And this is a smaragd conifer. Expect to pay $129.99 for something like this, but we've got them for $69.99. So $69.99 for a smaragd conifer.
Yeah, it's plant sale shenanigans today with Chris in his pink tutu as part of the Growers Direct flash sale.
Yep. Now here we've got your Snow Maiden. Your Snow Maiden. Now your Snow Maiden has been reduced from 60 bucks in a 10-inch pot. Now this is a hardy, if you want a hedge that's not too fast, not too big, something easy to keep in hand, if you want it to be evergreen, if you want it to be unbelievably tough, Snow Maiden is hard to beat. So Snow Maiden, unbelievably tough, beautiful hedge. And these ones here have reduced from $59.99 to $39.99. This is what some people are charged for an 8-inch pot. And in springtime, the bonus is this will be covered, beautiful foliage now, but in springtime covered in the most fabulous white blossom. Really, really beautiful. That you can see it there.
Down from $59.99 to $39.99.
$39.99.
They love them down at Essendon Fields, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They're everywhere.
All right, next up we have
Now, we've got a very romantic thing here. Now, what's interesting, if we could look at this closely, it's hard to see, but it's just covered in buds. I reckon if I counted up all the buds here, I reckon there'd be 250 buds here. And these buds are going to flower over the next couple of months. And what you get is a big ruffled pink flower, and the pink flower is called With Love. So amazing. And even a young plant like this can produce a couple of hundred plants, a couple hundred flowers in spring. But the main feature of With Love is it's a tall, narrow-growing camellia. So if you have got a shady spot or a sunny spot up the side of the and you want a tall, narrow hedge, your With Love Sasanqua camellia is hard to beat, and reduced from $129.99 to $69.99. And have a look, it's 1.8 meters tall. So 1.8 meters tall for $69.99 in a 13-inch pot.
Incredible! It's going to be absolutely covered in flowers. Not too long to go.
So right, here we have a Portuguese laurel. Now your Portuguese laurel is reduced from $139.99 to $69.99. They're a good size. Now these have a beautiful white flower in spring. They make a beautiful dark green hedge, hardy, long-lived, at only $6.99. Plant them about a metre apart.
$69.99.
Yeah, $69.99.
All right, perfect. Growers Direct flash sale. All of these products available right now to purchase. Next up.
And here we have our 13-inch pot capital pear. And this capital pear is well over 2 meters tall, probably 2.5 meters tall. And you're not paying, now often you'd be paying a couple $100 for something that tall. These are reduced from $139.99 to $69.99. So $69.99.
Wow.
About 2.5 meters tall.
It's very tall.
Now remember with these, if you needed a few of these, we deliver all the way from Traralgon out to Shepparton, up to Bendigo, up to Ballarat, down to Geelong, down to the Surf Coast. Spend over $300, which would be 5 of these, and you've got a free delivery.
Incredible. And
Yeah.
we're delivering all throughout the Easter long weekend, aren't we?
Every day over the Easter long weekend, we are
Amazing.
delivering.
Open and delivering. All right, what do we got here?
And this is a Cleveland ornamental pear. Now Cleveland, the capital that we just had there, that's your tall skinny pear. Your Cleveland is your beautiful teardrop pear. And what it does is that if you plant a row of them, they'll all blossom on the same day. They'll stop blossoming on the same day. The green leaves will come on the same day. And then they'll all autumn colour on the same day. So that they have the most mass planted. The Cleveland gives you the most uniformity. And the shape of it is a beautiful teardrop. It looks like you've hired a team of gardeners to, I've seen rows of them, 50 or 60 trees in a row, and it looks like a team of gardeners have carved them into a beautiful teardrop.
Get that naturally.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got on the price, sorry? $69.99?
$69.99.
From $140.
Yes. Now
Right.
these are your Leighton's Green Cypress. Now we put out a video that's been one of the hottest videos for ages, and I explained all about the history of Leighton's Green in Australia, and I played quite a role in getting them going. Now these are normally $22.99. They've been reduced to $10.99. So this is your
Crazy.
time. And there's only the guy who's selling these is losing money, so he's not going to do it again next year. So you wanna be hard pressed to get these ever again for $10.99. So if you want a 1 metre tall Leighton's Green, if you want a big start on your hedge, and there's not that many left, so jump in and grab them. $10.99. So
All right,
$10.99.
amazing. Hedges and screens.
I don't think you'd be wanting to lose money again.
No, you
next
probably
year.
won't want to do that deal again, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Growers Direct flash sale happening right now. All of these products are available for you to purchase right now.
Now here we have your straight and narrow lily pilly. This is, I always said this should have been called the pencil pilly. It's like the pencil pines of the lily pilly world. Beautiful dense foliage, lovely tight growth, grows up as a tall skinny column. Great if you had a little narrow spot between you and your neighbour to put a row of them in. Lovely evergreen, beautiful thing. And these ones here reduced from $39.99, and that's a really, around the industry, 8-inch pot, you know, 30, 40, 50 bucks. These are $19.99, so you can afford to put a row of them in at $19.99. Straight and narrow and lily pilly, $19.99.
Incredible. Purchase them now as part of the Growers Direct flash sale. As we move along, the last few products here in our flash sale.
So here we have a white the fairy magnolia. Now these are normally pretty sought after and hard to get. These are a metre tall, reduced from $34.99 to $24.99. So $24.99 for a metre tall. Now my daughter's put a hedge of these around her place, and when they flower in spring, they're covered in white fragrant flowers, and people come and knock on the door and ask her what they are.
Yeah, look really beautiful.
They're fantastic.
So reduced from $34.99 to $24.99.
Yeah, so $24.99.
Great, perfect for hedges or as a feature plant. Growers Direct flash sale.
Hey, would you be able to grab that spiral one? Actually, we'll do that one there and grab the spiral one. We'll show the spiral one.
I'm going to show an advanced one of how these look.
Yeah. Now what
Before we
we've
do,
got
we've got the
here
next product.
is the pink owl escalonia. Now your pink owl escalonia, I saw it it's new on the market. I saw a mature plant of this for the first time this year, and it stopped me in my tracks. It's absolutely amazing. It flowers for months and months and months, and it's a lovely soft pink flower, like it's a sort of a rusty soft pink, beautiful pink flower. And escalonias take the frost, they take the heat, they take the drought, they take poor soil. So there's something that almost anyone could grow anywhere. Grow them as a hedge, grow them as an individual specimen, poke them into your cottage garden. Beautiful green foliage, lovely pink flowers, and doesn't get too big. Pink owl escalonia, reduced from $39.99 to $19.99, and that's not a 6-inch pot, that's an 8-inch pot, a big bushy 8-inch pot for $19.99.
Yeah, that's awesome value for those. All right, we're going to look at this next product, how it can look and what we've got on sale.
Yeah. So your Spartan conifer, if you wanted to shape a chook in your garden or do something, your Spartan, or if you just wanted a hedge or you just wanted a nice neat tree, your Spartan conifer is perhaps the most plastic of all your conifers. You can trim it and shape it any way you want. Here's a beautiful spiral done with it, and you look, it's a lovely neutral sort of a green. So this as a specimen, grow it as a specimen in the pot, grow it as a specimen in the garden, grow it as a hedge, grow it as a topiary. These ones here, normally $21.99, they are now reduced to $18.99. So $18.99 for lovely 8-inch juniper Spartans, really handy. When I talking to people and doing garden design and stuff like that, I call these my fat my fat pencil pine.
Perfect.
I call them my fat pencil pine. They're a bit fatter and a bit shorter than your pencil pine, not as fast growing, and very easy to trim and train. So
you can prune them as you like, as you can see there.
They're plastic. Right. Do what you like with them. Yeah.
All right, Growers Direct flash sale. On sale right now. Those Spartans there for only $18.99 and with 20 available at that price.
Now, this is one of the best lily pilly deals on the market. This is your fire screen lily pilly, and these ones here have been, and look at them, they're probably 1.5 metres tall. They've been reduced from $32.99 to $19.99. Now, these are in the Smithii family. That means that your scillas, which make the bumps on the leaves, don't eat them. The beetles, which strip off all your leaves, don't eat them. The frost doesn't get them, and they're really, really tough. So they're really tough. They're really easy to grow, and they're the fire screen lily pilly, reduced from $32.99 to $19.99. So if you want a lily pilly hedge and you want something that's tough and hassle-free, these fire screens are fantastic. They're fast growing and they grow quite tall. Plant them 90 centimetres apart and make a beautiful hedge.
All right, amazing. If you like shenanigans and you like plant sales, this is it. Growers Direct flash sale. This is the last plant product for today.
Yeah,
and then we have something very special at the end, don't we?
No.
No, okay, we don't have anything special. All right.
Yeah. So that's
this is it. This is all the specials.
Yeah, this is it. So this is your weeping lily pilly. Now these are fantastic value. Walk into any nursery and ask them for 1.5 metre weeping lily pilly, and they'll ask you for $100. But these ones here, they're a bit skinny. They're in an 8-inch pot. They're a good 5 foot, maybe 1.6 metres tall. And that we've reduced them from $29.99 to $19.99. So if you wanted a head start on a beautiful weeping lily pilly hedge, now weeping lily pillies are a classy lily pilly. We sell truckloads in Brighton and Toorak, and the reason why people go for them is in those classy areas they don't like the purple or red tips. They like the plant to be all green, and they want it not to produce berries. And basically this one here barely ever produces a berry. If it does, it's a white berry that won't stain your concrete, so it doesn't have that red berry problem, and it doesn't have those red tips, and it also doesn't, the psyllids can have a little go at it, but it doesn't seem to go at it too much. But best of all, the beetles won't touch it. So it's one that the beetles, which is stripping a lot of the leaves off a lot of hedges in Melbourne, the beetles won't touch it. It doesn't produce berries. It's lovely and clean, virtually no berries. And not worried by too many bugs or anything like that. Fast growing, hardy, and a good head start at $19.99 for a 5 foot lily pilly. Unbelievable.
All right, amazing. So they're down to $19.99. Incredible. Well, that wraps up the Growers Direct flash sale, getting your garden ready for Easter products. So we'll have all of these products available on our YouTube channel, Hello Plants, on YouTube, and you can check them all out if you missed anything. Next
Wednesday at 12. We're doing another Growers Direct flash sale.
That's right.
At 12 o'clock next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Did you hear that, our beautiful people behind the scenes?
Yeah.
And so that means we'd need our list by Monday, Chris.
And then on Thursday afternoon, we haven't set a time yet, but on Thursday afternoon we're having a little mini Grower Direct sale. And what it is, I've gone to one of the growers and I've bought an amazing selection of advanced trees, like really big stuff that you just put one of them in the middle of your front lawn and your garden will look done. Amazing big tree, all big trees, all big advanced stuff, weeping trees, maples, all the stuff that people really love. And we're going to do a little short one on Thursday afternoon, just to kind of, and it's so that people, it's all next Wednesdays and the advanced tree one on Thursday are all focused around the Easter Garden project.
Perfect. And where can people purchase our products?
Right, so you go to the Grower Direct flash sale.
There you go.
On our website.
Yeah, or you can call us.
Yeah, you can call up and say, want some of them lily pillies, mate?
Or you can scan the QR code if you're technologically inclined, which is on the screen right now. All right, well, we'll leave it there. Any last words? So we're open all Easter long weekend. Anything else you want to add, Chris, before we end
I want to thank the guys. They really, this has been the smoothest and best Grower Direct sale that we've had. The guys and the girls doing the work here done a fabulous job.
Well
thank you very much.
they're lifting heavy products, and the girls are. It wouldn't even be possible without the girls behind the scenes. I don't
Yeah,
think.
that's right. Yeah, it's
Yeah, they
actually
know.
taken. This show takes a team really with other people right behind the scenes. It's really a team of about 7 people, and it's been a major project this week.
Excellent. All right, well, we'll end off there, and yeah, don't forget to if you don't miss out on these crazy deals.